My peoples. My peoples. Y'all seen it? Y'all seen it? That's right. I may not know shit about Kung Fu, but we about to talk boxing. Whew. Takes a lot out of you, my peoples. Yo. My peoples. My peoples. Bam. There you go. Like I said, man, I'm not a Kung Fu master, but I know boxing. What's good, John Parham? In the building. Bam. You know, gotta work on those Kung Fu moves. My peoples. Where's my other phone at? Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. If you missed the Kung Fu moves, I showed you guys the tiger, all the skills. You may want to go back and check it out because you missed out. But my peoples, that's why I'm catching my breath. You know, I displayed the type of Kung Fu skills that you would expect from a Kung Fu master. Yo, it's fight week, my peoples. It is fight week. Forget about my Kung Fu master-like skills. It's a great week of boxing. We're gonna get some real good fights, my peoples. Which, of course, I know I'm looking forward to. Whoa, my peoples. Ring Magazine is obviously putting it out there and whatnot. They talking about it. This card is gonna be headlined by Itauma and Dillian Whyte. Whoa. Imada 210. Good morning, Jay Smith. Bam. Salute. Yo. Watch the intro, brother. You're gonna see the Kung Fu skills. The tiger in full display. Last time y'all saw the praying mantis, now y'all saw the tiger. People been asking for the drunken master. We're gonna have to give you that one of these days. But this weekend, this Saturday, we're gonna get some real good fights that I'm damn sure looking forward to them. And I got a feeling you guys too. Clifton Dennis, early bird. You know what it is, man. It's all about the early bird. Let me pull up some of these fights because I'm excited. I'm excited for Saturday. We're gonna get some serious fireworks. I expect out of the 4 big main fights, I think we might see 2 to 3 knockouts. If every fight is not a knockout, because they're all those type of fights. So this weekend, we're gonna have a good time, my peoples. Y'all know what it is. Jay Smith is gonna be calling those. Fight night with Jay Smith. Y'all know I'm gonna give y'all the serious commentary. Here we go, my peoples. That's what we got for next week. For Saturday. So we got Herovich versus Adle. We got Tsunami versus Ashfaq. Raymond Ford versus Nova. Ball versus Goodman. And of course, the main event, Whyte versus Itauma. It's like I told you guys, these are the type of fights that many of them could end up in people going to sleep. We have a lot of hard punches in here and a lot of fighters who like to mix it up. So this card right here, trust me, we're gonna be going from the first fight to the last one, watching punches raining upon thee. God damn, yo, if y'all can see this, that's crazy. That's a mob that is taking over the airspace over here, huh? So y'all doing it these days. Clifton Dennis. A few of my peoples think Goodman can get the upset. What do you think? Can he get the upset? Damn, man, listen. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Nick Ball is not looking like somebody that's ready to take an L right now. I'm just keeping it 100 with you, bro. Look, it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a competitive fight. Will he be able to get the upset? Okay, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think that this fight is gonna be super, super competitive. I understand why Nick Ball is gonna be the favorite, or should be the favorite. But still, man, Sam Goodman can fight. Sam Goodman can fight, bro. I don't know what to tell you, my G. I don't know what to tell you. That's gonna be a competitive fight. I do see Nick Ball winning it, but it's a tough fight. K-Man, this will be a good test for Moses to see if he the real deal or hype. You know, some of us understand that this is a real test. Dillian Whyte can fight. But there's always the haters, the naysayers. I've already seen people saying, oh, look, you know, they putting him up against a nobody. Because these days, if you're not an undefeated champion and you're not, you know, super accomplished, you're a nobody. You know, there's fans that's how they see it. Either you're up there or you're a nobody. So Dillian Whyte, a guy who has all of this experience, a guy who's been in there with the top dogs, how you gonna say that's a nobody? That's a great test for a 20-year-old kid. Of course, I agree 100%. In this fight, I think that he's gonna show out. He's gonna show people, look, I'm for real. Those who understand the type of challenge that Dillian Whyte is gonna present for a young 20-year-old, if he blows him out of the water, people are gonna respect that. Like, yo, that's a big win. Matter of fact, look, if he stops Dillian Whyte, like blows him out, I see this kid getting a title shot within three fights. 3-4 fights at most. So he's taking, you know, they're taking the right steps in you know, getting him that title shot. But I'm telling y'all, man, Moses Itauma at 20 years old, with what I already see from him now, you know, you got to think about it. At 20 years old, a fighter's still being developed. He's not where at his peak, either physically or technically. At 20 years old. That means that what we're seeing right now is probably like 70% of what he's going to be. 60%, 70 maybe, of what he's actually going to be. At 20 years old, you're going to get a lot stronger. You're going to get faster. You're going to get technically more sharp. So if we're seeing this from him now, imagine. Imagine a couple years down the line. Moses Itauma is gonna be scary. Scary, scary. If I was in the heavyweight division and I'm one of the guys coming up, I'm trying to fight him now. I'm like, yo, let's try to get this guy now. Let's try to beat him now, because in a few years, I don't want to see what he's gonna have. Clifton Dennis. Didn't the guest Glazer say he believes White gets stopped early. I mean, does he get stopped early? I think a lot of people's predicting a stoppage because of what they see from Moses Itauma. But, you never know in boxing, man, especially in the heavyweight division. So we can all count Dillian Whyte out. But it takes one big shot to change the outcome of a fight. And that's more true in the heavyweight division than anywhere else. So when you have an inexperienced fighter, he could make a mistake that a guy like Dillian Whyte can capitalize on. So hold on. Itauma, a lot of us, I'm expecting him to win. But I understand what Dillian Whyte brings to the table. Super Blue. Super Blue. Come back in 24 hours and get back to me with a boxing question. The veggie salad is in the building. So all I got to say, my peoples, look, Dillian Whyte is going to be a tough opponent. But, we went too hard, too early, my peoples. This is a real good card, and we have to talk about those early fights. And we just went straight into the main event. God damn. You see how we do it, John Parham? Get that goofball out of here for 24 hours. Tell him to bring another account so he can get another 24 hours with that one too. So my people, look, the first fight, Herovich, Adle. Look, man. Look. Tell you like this. Herovich. Some fighters, people don't follow like that, and they think, this guy's average. This guy's not all that. But I want to show you. I want to show you Herovich, my peoples. I want to show you Herovich. Because I had somebody yesterday tell me, Herovich, I've never seen him fight. Who is that? Okay. You've never seen Herovich fight. Then I'm going to show you. Because this guy can bang. He got power. Check him out, my peoples. When he land flush, you're going down. For those who don't know Herovich like that, yo, he's mad heavy-handed, bro. Herovich is heavy-handed. When he catch you with them heavy-ass shots, you're going to get slumped. So for those of you who have not seen Herovich fight, take my word for it, this dude got sledgehammers. Ivan Curry, what do you think about Ennis versus Ortiz? I think it's going to happen. I think in 2026 that fight is going to happen. Just got to, Boots won his couple of tune-ups. And after that, let's see. Clifton Dennis, he looked bad in the last two fights, in my opinion. Yeah, but look, if we get into looking bad in a certain fight, which fighter can we really say looked good in every single fight? Every fighter doesn't look good. No fighter looks good in every single fight. So it happens. Styles make fights. Sometimes you get a bad matchup, but that doesn't really mean anything. Look what Shakur did to Zepeda. And even though he did that to Zepeda, I promise you, whoever he's gonna fight next, they still gonna be bringing up De Los Santos. No, because look what happened with De Los Santos. So what happened in the previous fight, it really doesn't matter. It's all about when these two styles meet each other. But Herovich got power, man. He got power to make it a very interesting fight. But hold on, my brother. Cause I'm not I'm not knocking David Adele. Look. Hold on. Because Herovich is going to be facing a tough opponent. I'm not going to sit here and act like he's there. You know, this is going to be a banger, my peoples. I'm telling you, this fight, I don't see it going the distance. I just don't see it. I really, really do not see this fight. With two guys who fight the way they fight, nah, this fight ain't going to go the distance. So, Herovich versus Adle. Let me know if y'all want to make a prediction on that fight. I'm not sure who's going to win that, man, but I'm going to tell you it doesn't go the distance. I'm telling you that right now. This fight is going to end in a brutal knockout unless the referee pulls the plug because somebody's taking a nasty beating and they refuse to go down. John Parham, maybe 8-9 rounds. I don't see it going the distance, man. I don't. These two fighters, the way that they go out and let the hands fly early too, yeah, that's not going the distance. Raymond Ford versus Nova. Ford versus Nova. I really like that fight. And it's like I told you, if you understand the sport of boxing, you realize the type of challenge that different fighters represent. Nova can fight. People look, oh no, look, he lost. He lost. He got beat. He can fight. And he's not going to be somebody that Raymond Ford is just going to wash him. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be an interesting fight. They're going to go back and forth. They both going to land good shots on each other. Will this fight go the distance? Okay, John Parham, I see you. You got Raymond Ford stopping him in 10. He's going to turn into Ray Savage. I got Raymond Ford winning this fight. Oh, man, you see that? Damn, man, big-ass bumblebee. Or hornet, the black joints, the big round ones. Stay harassing me. Golly. So, yes, I think it's going to be a competitive fight, but I got Ray Savage beating Nova, handling business. Which, by the way, I don't know if y'all seen the tweet from Shakur. I spoke about it, too. Shakur says Ray Ford is one of the best fighters in the world. If Shakur Stevenson telling you that, you know, maybe you should be tuning in and watching Raymond Ford doing what he do. Then we have Ball versus Goodman. Man, listen. You talking about two young, undefeated, hungry fighters trying to make a name for themselves. This fight is going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. And I think on that night, the winner is really going to start making a name for himself. Because right now, if you think about it, unless you're not a real boxing fan, you don't know Nick Ball. You don't know Goodman. Unless you're not, or if you're in the UK, if you're from the UK. But on that night, two young undefeated fighters meeting at that stage in their career, I think that they're both going to perform good. And someone is going to want it more. And that person, their stock is going to go like that. It's going to rise. But the loser of that fight, his stock can tumble or it can still rise. If he put up a real good fight, good performance, if it ends in a controversial decision, you know, a split decision or a draw, you know, both fighters' stock can just go up. So let's see. But that's a very interesting fight. And we was talking about it earlier, man. Dillian Whyte versus Moses Itauma. Bro, that's not going the distance. You can forget about that. Forget it. It ain't going the distance. Clifton Dennis. Ford, I don't know the how yet. Look, man, Nova, I seen him taking a shot. He could take a shot, but I've also seen him get stopped. So Raymond Ford got what it takes to stop him. Is it going to be a stoppage? I don't know. I think it's going to depend what type of fight Nova brings to the table. If he tries to slug it out, I think Ray Savage is the fighter we're going to see in the ring with him. He gets stopped. But if he's going to go the route of using the footwork, more of that Cuban style where he's going to move around the ring a lot, jab a lot, if it's that type of fight, I see it going the distance. I see it going the distance. Let's see. Let's see how he approaches it. Tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. We're going to see Raymond Ford fighting a big name soon. Watch. Because right now, people are looking at it like, okay, you're the favorite. You're going to win that fight. You're supposed to win that fight. I had people yesterday in yesterday's show say, they giving Ray Ford easy stuff. Which Nova is not an easy fighter. You got to beat him. But I'm talking about Ray getting in there with a name. With a champion, somebody. That's going to happen soon for him. John Parham, agree. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, my people. Yo, so we still don't know who Jerome Boots Ennis is going to fight next, huh? I heard. No, not I heard. Ain't nobody tell me shit. I read somewhere that Speedy agreed to fight him. Rashidi Ellis agreed to fight him. So, I like that fight. If y'all recall, Rashidi Ellis just got one loss. And it wasn't it to Gary Antoine Russell that he lost? Well, I don't remember who he lost to. No. I don't remember who he lost to. But Rashidi Ellis, he can fight. I would like to see him fight with Boots. In fact, at some point, I think that they were going to fight at the welterweight division, and that fight fell through. Or I think he was supposed to fight for an opportunity to get Boots, and he lost. And maybe the guy that beat him fought Boots. I think that's what happened. John Parham, this fight is big for Ford. I agree. It's a big fight for him. Ellis is decent. He's a good fighter. I like his style more than some of the opponents that Boots faced. I think him and Boots will match up in a way that is a fun fight to watch. There you go, K-Man. He lost to Villa, yes. And then Villa is the one who went on to fight Boots afterwards, which, by the way, he gave Boots a pretty good fight up until he started getting beat up. But he landed some pretty good shots. But then Boots just turned into the Matrix on him. Making him miss, punching him in the mouth, all type of stuff. I'm telling y'all, man, Boots, when he decides to just get on his defense game and start taunting and doing all this, he's a problem, man. He's just untouchable. He becomes untouchable at times. If you watch that fight, I think his name is Roman Villa, isn't it? If you watch that fight, man, there was moments where Boots seemed like he was untouchable. Like you just couldn't touch him. But I like the fight with Jerome Boots Ennis and Rashidi Ellis. I like that fight. Rashidi Ellis is a guy who can fight, who got power, who got speed. I think that's a real good matchup. But we still don't know what's next for Jerome Boots Ennis. We still don't know. We shall find out. What is next for Jerome Boots Ennis? And, of course, Virgil Ortiz. Remember, my peoples, Oscar De La Hoya said that Virgil Ortiz is going to fight a top 5 opponent next. That's what he wants. I'm looking forward to see who it's going to be, man. And I'm going to tell you what, guys. Boots and Virgil, they're not just going to mix it up with each other. They're going to start mixing it up with the big boys in the division real soon. So it's going to be a melee in the 154 division. Imagine. Jerome Boots Ennis joined the show. Virgil Ortiz is in the building. You got Fondora up in there. You got Bakram, Murtaza Aliyev, who I'm dying to see, get a big fight with one of the big boys. Y'all seen how he took care of Tim Tszyu, man. That was brutal. Think about Tim Tszyu's last fight with Sebastian Fondora. He took a lot of punishment. Took a lot of punishment in that fight. And at no point in time, it wasn't like the first one, where he was real competitive before getting cut. This time around, he just got beat up, right? But if you've seen his fight with Bakram Mortasaliev, he took the beating of a lifetime in that one. It wasn't even like Fondora's beating. It was the worst beating. Or as we used to say as little kids, it was worser when he caught him. Clifton Dennis. Yeah, that's him. But Boots does really good with come forward fighters. Oh, nah. Look, I don't think Bakram Mortasaliev can beat Boots, but I think he give him a tough fight. And I think he can make him face adversity. Because that's the thing. Great fighters are not going to dominate everybody. There are those fighters that are going to just give you a tough fight. We've seen it with all the big names, we've seen it at some point or another. That there's a fighter out there that he's just going to give you a tougher fight than everybody else. And Bakram Mortasaliev can be that guy for Boots. He could be that guy to even drop him. Boom! And then Boots have to get up and make adjustment. Like, okay, I'm going to have to box this guy. No more trading. I'm not trying to go to sleep. And have to make some type of adjustments to win by unanimous decision. It's like that. It's like that, bro. You know, you have to understand. Jerome Boots Ennis is a very skilled fighter. But he's in the 154 division where there's a lot of guys that got power. Serious power. And Bakram Mortasaliev is one of those. If he hurt you, yo, y'all seen how Clifton Dennis destroyed. That's the way to put it. That's the way to phrase it. He absolutely destroyed, pummeled, battered Tim Tszyu. Eso fue una golpiza que le dio. Beat him up. Straight up beat him up. And that wasn't the type of fight where you're watching it and it was like a close fight, a good fight, and then he hurt him and stopped him. No. He was beating him up until the stoppage. That's the way it went down. John Parham, Master Mario, if boxing not for you, then you in the wrong place. I don't understand what he doing here. He in the wrong place. But if you want to keep watching, quietly, do you, family. Seems like you might want to start tuning in. You never know, John. Maybe we turned a new fan into boxing because he's over here, right? So, my peoples, we're getting closer and closer. It's already next month. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Bud Crawford is already next month. Both fighters are heavily in their training camp. You see Crawford running in the gym and, real active. Let's see what Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what they talking about. We get started with Terrence Bud Crawford. There you go, my peoples. That's Terrence Crawford Instagram. 1.8 million followers. Very popular fighter, regardless of what the haters say, right? Look at this. Terrence Crawford is an athlete, and he has that in common with other great athletes like Michael Jordan, Floyd Mayweather, Kobe Bryant, just great athletes from different sports that they're super competitive at everything. They want to win at everything. They want to be the best. Like Terrence Bud Crawford is going to try to whoop your ass in checkers, in chess, playing pool, playing football, playing basketball. I don't know if he's going to try to whip your ass playing hockey too. But that's one super competitive fighter who tries to beat people at everything. Darts, whatever it is. Terrence Bud Crawford does it everything at a high level, and he's trying to whoop your ass. But check it, John Parent, 1.8 million, and it's a lot. Facts, bro. 1.8 million for a boxer, that's a lot of. For an active boxer, that's a lot of followers. If you look around at active boxers who have a name, who are champions, there's a lot of them who are below that million mark. And he's about to reach 2 million. And you know what's funny? I told people when he was going to fight Errol, I think he was like at 700K or something like that. And I told people after he beat Errol, it's not going to be long before he passed a million. And it was just like that. Whooped him, bam. Now he's going to whoop Canelo. He's going to fly past that 2 million. But you can see Terrence Buck Crawford training, getting ready for that fight, my peoples. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. September 13th. Feel like it's right around the corner. All that trash talking. Oh, he too little. Canelo's too big. And Canelo's just gonna knock him out and it's gonna be easy. Yeah, y'all about to find out. Y'all really about to find out. So while Terrence Crawford is training hard, pushing it, look at Canelo right there. That's Canelo, my peoples. That's 2 days ago. That's from 2 days ago. While Terrence Crawford was in the mountains, running in the mountains, in the gym, punching, fighting. Canelo is in the hospital with his sweet baby. So, one right now has that killer instinct. And the other, I don't know, man. That's where Canelo was at 2 days ago. You see the difference between where Canelo was at 2 days ago versus where Bud was at? Y'all saw where Canelo was at 2 days ago? And you see where Crawford was at 2 days ago? It's a difference. If you're not seeing that difference, you're going to see it on the 13th. Ooh, I can't wait for that beating. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's August 11th, so we basically a month away. 1 month away. Just one. Clifton Dennis. I was watching Canelo, correct me if I'm wrong, but I noticed he does similar things as Spence. Example, they both love to throw double and triple jab to get enraged. Then we're back in hot. That's 100% facts. That's 100% facts. They come straight forward with the jab. And there's a couple of things that they do coming straight forward with the jab. Because Spence also, remember, people discredit Spence, but remember when we used to call him the body snatcher? When we used to call him the body snatcher, he was setting up that left hook exactly the same way as Canelo. He was stepping, pop, 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 bang. But that's the problem. You have to be within a certain range to land that left hook. That's the one thing that I'm been trying to explain it to people, and they're going to see it on September 13th. The left hook to the body is a punch that you land from close range, from right there, bam, from close quarters. You can't land the left hook to the body like this, right? You never seen a fighter land it like this, right? To land, like, if you're right there and I want to land the left hook to the body, I can't land it from here. I got to step in, boom, and land it, right? So, I can't just step in if I'm with an elite level fighter because he's going to hit me, boom, while I'm trying to do that. So, I got to step in behind something, behind the jab. Boom, boom, and then go down. So, you have to be able to close the gap to land that left hook to the body, which is why you did not see Canelo do it effectively on Bivol. He was capped at a distance. Come on now. Moon Vampire, is you from us or from the U.S.? No. So again, my peoples, Canelo Alvarez, his bread and butter, we all know, is the jab. I mean, the left hook to the body. Stepping in with the jab, bang, going to the body. He couldn't do that left hook to the body continuously, consistently against Dimitri Bivol. Why? Because Bivol kept him at a distance. Now you're going to fight a Terence Crawford who has longer reach than Dimitri Bivol. And for whatever reason, people want to ignore that. They think it doesn't matter. They think it's not going to make a difference. And that reach advantage is going to make all the difference in the world, my peoples. I promise you. Crawford is going to use that long-ass jab. And you know how hard it is for Canelo? How hard it's going to be for him to get with inside that jab of Crawford? Because he cannot land his own punches until he go inside of that punching range. So you're going to see Canelo trying to jab his way on the inside, but you're going to be jabbing against a guy that has a way longer jab. Watch this. Remember that I told you this now. A bunch of times throughout that fight, you're going to see Crawford and Canelo jab at the same time, and Crawford is going to hit him in the face, and Canelo jab is going to hit air because his arms is short. Got them short-ass arms. So you're going to see this. You're going to see Crawford jab go out and Canelo jab go out at the same time. And while Canelo get punched in the face, bah, you see his jab right here on Crawford. Boom! Didn't land. With your short-ass arms. So, wow. Everybody's ignoring the reach advantage of Terence Crawford. It's going to be a major, major factor in this fight. And it's going to be the reason why Canelo's not going to land those body shots with any level of consistency like we're used to seeing. It's going to be similar to Bivol. It's going to be similar to Floyd. And people don't have to say, oh, no. Bud is nothing like Floyd, and he's nothing like Bivol. He don't have to be to keep Canelo at a distance. He don't have to be. You don't have to. All he has to do is be able to use that jab and that footwork. And Crawford has one of the best jabs in the business. I find that interesting that every time Crawford fights, we see that jab that's like a whip. Pop, 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 pop. Yo, Crawford got that jab that is like a whip. And we forget about it like it doesn't even exist. That long-ass jab is going to be in Canelo's face, my peoples. And I'm telling you, I've been in the ring with somebody that has a lot of reach advantage on me. I'm stronger. I hit a lot harder. But that reach can disrupt you. If you have somebody with good footwork or with better footwork than yourself, that reach can disrupt you. Reach can disrupt power easily. Clifton Dennis, you think that jab whips equal in both stances? It's hard for me to say, man, but honestly, Terence Crawford is one of the few fighters I've ever seen who looks the same way from the southpaw and orthodox stance. I don't remember, coming up. I've seen fighters, who can switch. I've seen fighters switching, but somebody do it as effectively as Terence Crawford, I've never seen that. Never seen it. I've seen Crawford fight a whole fight as a southpaw, and I've also seen him go a whole fight as an orthodox fighter. I've seen him do it from both sides. And then I've also seen him just go back and forth throughout the fight. So the way that he mastered it, I've never seen it before. Jerome Boots Ennis might be that next guy that does it the same way. Might be. I have to see a little bit more of Boots. I have to see him do it, with the big dogs. We already seen Crawford do it on Errol Spence. And we're gonna see him do it on Canelo. So I gotta see Boots go from both sides on the big boys and see what you got on them. John Parham, what's the reach difference? Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know that the reach is significant. It is significant. And I don't look. I'm not saying that because Crawford has the longer reach, he's gonna watch Canelo. And I think you know John Parham. I've been consistent with that. I've said it. I see a competitive fight. I see them going back and forth. I do see Canelo eventually figuring it out and finding his range. But it's gonna be the Terence Crawford show. This is gonna be the Terence Crawford show. I feel like by the time they get to the championship rounds, Bud is gonna be taking over. That's it. By that point, I already got my distance on you. I already got my timing. That's the thing. Let me tell you why it's so tough when somebody that good has reach on you. It's easier to time you when a fighter has reach on you. If we're both the same arm length, I could time you and miss because of the arm length. But if my arm length is longer than yours, it's a lot easier for me to pull back just a little bit and boom, punch you with that long ass arm. You're not gonna be able to get away from it. So my counter punches is gonna land more effectively than yours. Consistently. Boom, because the arm is long. For Canelo, it's gonna be harder to counter punch. For Canelo, it's gonna be harder to counter punch. You know why? Because when you're shorter, when you miss, when they miss, your arms is shorter for you to catch them. They trying to punch you from long range. So it's harder for you to counter punch. Liam, hoodie looking fire. Appreciate it, my brother. Salute. Bam. John Parham. Liam, salute. K-Man. Canelo probably give up the reach advantage in almost all his fights, though. That is true. But the difference is giving up the reach advantage versus a fighter who's going to stand there and bang with you versus giving the reach advantage versus a fighter who's going to use that footwork. It's a different ball game. He gave up reach advantage with Floyd Mayweather, Dimitri Bivol, and Erislandis Lara. And look how those fights played out. There's people that felt Erislandis Lara beat him. Triple G, he gave up reach against Triple G. There's a lot of people that feel Triple G won the first fight too. That first fight, I had money on Triple G. And when the fight ended, I didn't know who won the fight. I'm like, damn, did I win this money? Did I not? So you have to understand that Canelo has had problems and lost to guys with reach. So when we say, yeah, he's fought a lot of tall guys. Yeah. And some of those beat him. Two of those who had better reach than him beat him. A couple of them gave him problems. Liam, 1 month to go to see the greatest fight in boxing history. Listen, I truly believe that this fight is going to live up to the hype. It's going to live up to the expectations. Y'all got to remember, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, when they fought each other, they was about this same age. They was about this age when they fought each other. The difference is, though, Terence Crawford is a lot stronger than Floyd Mayweather. And Canelo Alvarez is a lot stronger than Manny Pacquiao. So this is not going to be that type of fight. I'm going to remind y'all, man, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao was actually a disappointment the way that the fight actually played out because, you know, the build-up, like the fight of the century, we think, oh, my God, there's going to be a brutal slugfest. They hate each other. And no, it was more of a tactical fight from Floyd Mayweather, using a lot of footwork, making them miss, making them pay type of deal. Manny Pacquiao chasing him around, missing a lot. So it wasn't the type of fireworks that we thought it was going to be. You know, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, the build-up, the biggest fight ever. It didn't play out that way. We was disappointed. With Canelo Alvarez and Floyd and Bud Crawford, my peoples, we are going to get that type of fight. This is going to be that type of fight. I promise you, this is not going to be a disappointment where we're going to say, oh, man, you know, they didn't bang it out. They didn't. No. Canelo is going to try to hurt Crawford. but he's gonna eat some nasty shots, and you're gonna see him showing respect. And it's gonna get more strategic. It's gonna turn into more of a chess match in the middle round. And then Terence Crawford is gonna start taking over and put the Swiss, Dre, and Apple beats on him. Franklin, hello people. Hope you're all blessed today. Salute, Franklin. Bam, and salute to everybody who joined the show. Y'all already know what this is, man. This is Boxing for Breakfast, where you get a healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Liam, Canelo neck is too thick at 168. He ain't getting dropped down. Liam, it's not about your neck. Your neck helps when you brace yourself for the shot. Your neck can't do shit for you, my brother, if you get hit with a shot you don't see coming. That's the reason why Canelo never been stopped. The neck helps, but he never been stopped because he has great ring awareness. He's not the guy who get hit with shot he don't see coming. You even see Canelo get hit and roll away from the punch all the time. So punches don't hit him as hard as they would or as flush because he rolls away from them. He's very good at that. But trust me, when you get hit with a shot you don't see coming, your neck does absolutely nothing for you, bro. Like, let's say you miss, and while you like this, that hook went over and you didn't see it coming, boom, and it hit you and it spin you, boom. Once they put your head on a swivel, buddy, you going to sleep. It don't matter what neck you got, how strong you is. It's just that some fighters are very good at not taking that shot. Liam, don't duck the like button, man, yo. I'm telling y'all, some people be ducking that like button the same way Tank Davis is ducking Shakur. Master Mario Combat System. Dear John, my English is not good, but I'm a maestro debug since 2003 now. Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye. So I will say, my peoples, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, the way that it's playing out is going to be one of the biggest fights in history. One of the biggest fights in history. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think this is part of the reason why some folks want us to, I don't know, to root against Crawford. Are they rooting against Crawford? Liam, tell me a boxer at 168 that has better head movement than Canelo. Bye-bye. He just confused us and go. Bye-bye. Boxer with better head movement than Canelo at 168? I'm not sure. That's hard to say. Canelo could be the guy. But just keep in mind that he's not using as head much movement these days. Canelo blocks more punches than he slipped these days. Watch his last couple of fights. But again, there's this narrative on Crawford and people hating on him. You know why? One of the things that they hate the most is that Terence Crawford, all these years they've been hating on him. They've been saying that he ain't fight nobody, that his resume is whack, that, you know, just trying to diminish him, diminish his opponents, his accomplishments. And now, this is the guy who's going to be one half of the biggest fight in this era of boxing. Terence Crawford is going to be the guy involved in one of the biggest fights in the history of the sport of boxing. One of the fights that's going to be the most viewed in the history of the sport of boxing. And they hate that for Terence Crawford. Because they love saying, oh, he ain't fight nobody. Oh, nobody know him. Oh, he's not big. Oh, the biggest fight in boxing. And Terence Crawford is going to be in that ring. People hate that. People absolutely hate that. When all you've been doing is saying negative stuff about a fighter. Remember, before this fight was signed, there was a lot of people saying, nah, he don't deserve this fight. He didn't earn this fight. We don't even want to see this fight because it don't make no sense. All those people mad as hell that Crawford is going to be part of the biggest fight in boxing. They mad. Nebraska Raw, greeting from the mean streets of North Omaha, Nebraska. Salute. Bam. We're talking about Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, and how people trying to diminish and discredit Bud and all of his accomplishments. What's gonna be next? What's gonna be next when he put the Apple beats, the Drake and the Swiss beats on Canelo Alvarez? Well, we already see the excuses. They already bringing up that Crawford is on snack, that Victor Conti's a cheater, that Canelo's washed up, that, like, what? That's so you could see the confidence level of some of Canelo's fans. That they already have the excuse for why Crawford's gonna win. They already have it. They already have the excuse, my people, for why he's gonna win. That right there tells you how great of a fighter Terence Crawford is, that he moved up 2 divisions to fight the face of boxing, and there's already fans of Canelo Alvarez making up the excuses of why Crawford is going to beat him. I'm telling you, Crawford is going to beat him up. Beat him up. Liam, I can't wait for September so Smith can see Crawford jaw getting broken. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. I know you said the same thing about Errol. You said the same thing about Errol. You should have learned back then. Errol is too big, and Errol is too strong, and he's going to break him. And look, now you back to saying the same thing with the hopes. I know it's what you hope to see, but it's not going to be that. I just hope that everybody who's saying Canelo's going to beat him up, Canelo's too big, y'all already set up for Errol Spence. You didn't learn from that one. I hope you learn from this one. I hope y'all learn from this one. Because it's going to be quite a beating. Brascarov, it's a dangerous fight for both. Bo will set trash because of Cinnamon's slow feet. And it's not just because of the slow feet. It's because of the reach advantage. It's like I'm telling you, when you got reach advantage on somebody, and you could keep them at that range, at that jab, right? Boom! That shit is there all day. Every time he stepped forward with his right hand, y'all know Canelo orthodox. When he stepped forward with that right hand, boom, that's going to be there all day long. And then if Crawford's lefty on him, when Canelo comes with the left, yo, he's going to be able to go over his hand with the right hook. Boom! Boom! With that much reach advantage, I'm telling you, Canelo Alvarez is going to get countered with some sweet shots. And it's going to make him more hesitant throughout the fight. You're going to see a Canelo Alvarez that's going to be more cautious. And it's not going to be absolutely nothing like what people think it's going to be. Because, let's face it, the way that the narrative is out there is that Canelo's so big and so strong and Crawford is so little that Canelo's just going to walk him down and Crawford ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. Canelo's just going to be like, boom, 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 boom. That's it, I guess. Canelo's just going to take him out. That's the narrative. That's the narrative that I'm seeing play now. Brascarov, Spence and Canelo style, almost identical. Night of Passion. You got big feet. Oh, yes. Take a little break and come back talking about boxing. So again, this fight is not going to play out absolutely nothing like people think it's going to play out. The whole Canelo is going to bully him. He's too big. He's too strong. Nah, it's not going like that. It's really not. Canelo's so type. Look, I keep trying to tell everybody, this fight is going to be competitive. It is going to be competitive. you're never going to see me disrespecting Canelo. And trying to tell you that he's a hype job or that he's not that good or whatever it is. No, Canelo's a great fighter, man. It's almost like I gotta say that so people understand that I got respect for him as a fighter. He's a great fighter, pound for pound, all-time great, world champion, all that. I just got Crawford winning because I think he's better. That's it. Erase. Ed. Moses has it, brother. I see Moses Itauma winning this fight, and I believe he's going to do it by knockout. I don't see it going the distance. David. Crawford going to box his head off. I'm trying to tell y'all, Crawford is going to be using that footwork. He's going to be timing him. He's going to be countering him. Canelo's going to be eating punches left and right, trying to step on the inside. Yo, this is what you're going to see from Terrence Crawford. Look at Terrence Crawford. You're going to see him like this. Look. Boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Yo, he going to be dancing around and punching him in the face. Watch. Erase. Crawford KO 6th or 7th round. Well, I don't see all that. I'm not going to say I see all that. I actually see it going the distance and Crawford winning by unanimous decision. But I did say before, if Crawford catches Canelo with a shot he don't see coming, he could sleep him. He could sleep him. Liam, Canelo ducking all those punches. Trust me. Man, you haven't been watching Canelo lately, brother. He's been getting hit a lot in the face. I like Dillian Whyte. He's fighting the upcoming fighters like Moses Itauma. But if you look at Wilder, he could fight Big Baby, Jared Miller. But he said no. And it will be on Netflix. Nah, look. Look, man, Dillian Whyte is a fighter that I got respect for. I could tell you that right now. He's not someone who's going there to get beat or feeling like he's getting an opportunity or like he's lucky to be there. He's going in there trying to put the beats on Itauma. He's going in there with the mindset like, yo, this young cat, he not ready. I'm going to take advantage. I'm a veteran. I'm going to handle him. So this is going to be a good fight. Now, how much is it going to last? I don't know. Because Itauma just got that type of power. But it's going to be a good fight. Liam, W movements for my boy Jay Smith, though. You know it, my guy. If I need to let them hands fly, you know. But I prefer to sucker punch you if I could. That doesn't take a lot of effort. Clifton Dennis. Hey, yo, you look at Canelo fights, he's always get favorite treatment from the judges. That's true. That's true. He's gotten favorable cards, but then again, you have to look at, there's a lot of fighters. Once your name is at that level and you're a world champion and all that, you know, in most cases, we're going to see that. That's why there's that phrase that you have to take it from the champion. If it's close, nah, he going to keep that. You got to take it from him. They're going to favor them. Clifton Dennis. Bivol fight was tied on all 3 cards going into the 12th. Floyd fight was split decision, then Triple G arguably robbery and Lara. Judges love Canelo since day 1. I'm not going to say all that. I'm not going to say all that because look at the fights that you're pointing out. You're pointing out a fight that he lost, so it doesn't matter because he lost. Triple G and Floyd. Like, he's had a long career, my brother. You're pointing out 3 fights. So most of his fights, he's won them convincingly. You know, you're pointing out the ones that was close. That's like me telling you, wait a minute. Judges also favored Floyd. The first fight with Maidana, it looked like he lost. The first fight with Castillo, when that last bell rang out, was sure he lost. And he got it. He got it. So if you look at great fighters, look at Tank Davis versus Lamar Roach. He got it. He got that draw in his favor. We all know what went down in that fight. In that fight, not only the judges favored Tank, the referee favored Tank. The athletic commission favored Tank. Everybody favored Tank in that fight. Corey B., I will bet on a draw. Clifton Dennis. But those lists wasn't close. Clifton Dennis, before the name against Floyd, They call that beating a split. His losses weren't close. I mean, we're not talking about losses, though. We're talking about wins that were gifted to you. You're talking about losses. I'm not talking about losses. If you lost your, like, for example, why bring up Bivol? You're saying that the loss wasn't close, but he lost, bro. Like, there's no point in making that argument when in the record, it's a loss. You're like, well, you know, what versus Bivol, it was close, though. It was close. He lost. Like, at some point, that argument that you're making, that it was close, is going to be forgotten in history, and people will just know that he lost that fight. You're not going to hear nobody talking about, yo, but the cards were too close. Nah. It's about fights that people feel you lost, and they got gifted. Whether they gave you a win or they gave you a draw. It happens. Erase Ed. I put a bet on Moses for 10th round. For what? For a 10th round stoppage or for it to finish by or before the 10th? John, hello. Bam. Look, man. This is going to be... And I find it so interesting that right now it's shaping up exactly the way that I told people. First, watch this. First, I told people Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are going to fight, and people was laughing at me. How are you going to say they're going to fight? How do you think that they're going to fight when it's weight classes for a reason? There's a reason why fighters can't move up and move down. You have to understand that. I'm like, my peoples, they not that far away. Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are a couple of divisions away, and Canelo Alvarez is a small 168-pounder. Here's a guy that moved up. Canelo is not a natural 168-pounder. He's smaller than everybody he fights in the division. Smaller than everybody he fights in the division. So you're a small dude. People focusing on the weight class, 168, 168, 168. But guess what? The guy's not a big 168-pounder. As evidenced by the fact that Terence Crawford is moving up in weight and he's taller and has longer reach. So the advantage is going to be in Crawford's favor. Strength is one advantage that goes to Canelo's favor. But the physical advantages that you can see with your own eyes, you're going to see it in the ring. You're going to see that on the 13th. So again, they both have, that's all I'm saying, they both have a physical advantage. It's not just the physical advantage of Canelo Alvarez that he's strong. Because that's the, look, all I'm saying is we have to acknowledge what they both bring to the table. That's what we have to acknowledge. What do they both bring to the table? Okay, we say Canelo's the stronger guy. Cool. Canelo's the stronger guy. But who got the reach advantage? Who got the height advantage? Come on now. Those right there are physical advantages that people want to keep ignoring. Can't ignore it. And we could ignore it, but on September 13th, we're going to see it. On September 13th, my people, we're going to see it. That reach advantage in full display. And I'm looking forward to seeing people's reaction when Canelo's being outboxed. What is going to be your reaction when as you're watching? I feel like it's going to be the same way where y'all was watching Arrow just take a beating. And it's like, I can't even imagine the feeling. I cannot imagine the feeling of me saying for 2 months straight how Adle was going to knock him out and how Adle was so big and so strong. And then all of a sudden, you gotta watch Errol take the beating of a lifetime after you said all that. You know how that must have felt? I don't know how that must have felt. Y'all might could help me know. Y'all might could help me understand how that feeling was of watching your boy get absolutely pummeled. Come on now. We gotta understand. We have to understand, my peoples. How did you feel when you was watching Crawford just landing teeing off an arrow? Boom, 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 boom. Dropping them. Boom, with uppercuts. Hooks. Boom, to the head. Boom, boom, boom. How did, like, those punches that Crawford was landing on Arrow, did they feel like they was landing on you? Keep it 100. John Parham, I definitely would love to see it, though. Clifton Dennis, tell Tank go down to 130. I mean, listen, man. Tank, I don't even know what to tell him anymore. Tank, I don't even know what to tell him anymore. That's it. I don't even know. I don't know what I could say to Tank. Tank, he's looking, for right now at least, it's looking like he's getting ready to duck Lamont Roach. For right now. I don't know if that's the case. That fight hasn't officially been canceled. But even Tank Davis, when he spoke up, he said, I'm not going anywhere. They capping, referring to the rumors that he was retiring. He said, I'm either coming back to fight Manny Pacquiao or moving up to 140. That sounds like he officially ducked the rematch. You could tell me, maybe I'm wrong. But that sounds like he officially ducked the rematch. And you know what somebody told me yesterday? I asked the question. If Tank Davis does not fight Lamont Roach, is he ducking the rematch? Somebody told me he's not ducking the rematch. If there's no contract, he don't got to fight him. He could do whatever he wants. It's only ducking if they already signed a contract. Y'all think about that. Tank Davis fought to a draw with Lamont Roach. That was a very controversial decision. We know about the knee and all that stuff. Gave him, a fight that a lot of people felt Lamont Roach won. And now they had a rematch that was scheduled. That date was pushed forward. And I was looking like the fight might not happen. If Tank Davis pulls out of this rematch, there's people making the argument that he's not ducking. How could that even be possible? How could that even be possible? Love more Hinduism. 100% he is, Jay. Facts. Facts. You gotta make that fight. John Parham, Tank ain't know it at 130 will break records. I mean, why not Tank versus Boots at 147? Tank Davis is closer to Boots' weight than he's closer to Inoue's weight. Why not Tank versus Boots? Okay, man, Roach has a strap at 130. Remember, he moved up to fight Tank. I know he got a strap at 130, but still, Tank has to fight that rematch or it's a duck. That is a duck. We don't even know if Lamont Roach is ever going to go back to 130 and defend that belt. He might stay at 135 and vacate that. That's it. Listen, fighters do that all the time. They move to a new division and they hold on to the title because that's going to give them some leverage. They still are a world champion. As long as you're holding on to that title until you stripped or you vacate or whatever, you're still a world champion in that division. You're listed as a world champion. So it happens all the time. Look at Devin Haney when he left to 140. He held on to the other 3 titles for a while, and then eventually he had to let them go because he was never planning on defending them. It was all about running away from Shakur. Clifton Dennis, that's not true. What's not true? John Parham, love more Hinduism. Salute. Where you been? Junior C, he better fight Tank and Shakur. He better fight Roach and Shakur. I'm going to tell you what, Junior C, right now it's not looking like he's going to fight Lamont Roach. It's not. I'm going to tell you Multiple reasons why it's not looking like he's fighting Lamont Roach. If you Google the fight date, the last fight date that they announced is for next month, for September. Oh no. Yeah, I think it's for next month. The fight date. And take this into consideration. Have you seen any press conferences? Any face-off? Any promotion of that fight? Anything at all that suggests that they're fighting? Nothing. No way a fighter like Tank Davis, they're going to put together a promotion. They're going to put together a promotion so he could fight in 2-3 weeks. We don't see anything about that fight anywhere. It's not being promoted. The only thing that they haven't done is that they haven't officially canceled it. So they could push it forward to another date. But right now, it doesn't look like they're fighting on that date. For sure. And then you have Tank Davis saying, I'm not retiring. I'm either going to fight Pac-Man or go to 140. Well, he didn't mention Lamont Roach. The man spoke himself about what he's doing next. And he didn't mention Roach. Junior C, dude running into retirement soon. John Parham Jr., he has to do it. He take care of his reputation. Lil Pape, Canelo got the weight gain on Crawford, which will bring that Mexican power KO in the face. Junior C, he rejected those 2 big money fights. John Parham, too soon. Clifton Dennis, how can but Canelo but say Tank Inoue is too much? No. I didn't say Tank Inoue was too much. I'm saying why not Tank versus Boots? Because it's Terrence Crawford being challenged to move up multiple divisions. Why you not challenging Tank Davis to move up multiple divisions too? Why you challenging him to move down multiple divisions? Why you always want Tank Davis to fight the little guys? You don't see the difference between Terrence Crawford moving up to fight a big dog, a bigger guy that you say is too big, and Tank Davis fighting a little dude? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Okay then, so Clifton Dennis is 13 pounds. So there you go. Crawford is moving a lot more. So why Tank Davis cannot, why people ask Tank Davis to move down to fight a little guy and not move up to fight a big guy? Come on now. Come on now. And I remember a lot of noise was made about that. Tank Davis fans saying, yo, we know it, move up. Move up and fight Tank. Damn, yo, they want a guy, they want Tank to fight a guy that fights in the 120s, that moved up to the 120s. Look, but you're saying we challenging Inoue, it's a great fight. But why you challenging a little guy for Tank? Why you not challenging a big guy? Why you not challenging Boots? Why you not challenging Brian Norman Jr.? Gracias, mi amor. Y Ryan. Yo te dejé la ropita de acomodar en un lado, todo. Y la mochila y la lonchera. John Parham, if the bag is right, I believe anything is possible. Clifton Dennis plus Tank Ali guy plus Tank a little guy. You see Clifton Dennis, that's the thing, that you have excuses for Tank. You want everybody to fight. I'm going to tell you like this, the notion that Tank is a little guy is false. That's something that y'all, that's an excuse that y'all make up to have Tank cherry picking smaller opponents. Tank is not a little guy. This dude be walking around weighing 160 pounds. Tank is, while you calling him a little guy, he actually a weight bully, bro. Tank is a real life weight bully. This dude walk around weighing 160 pounds, 170 pounds. Have you not seen the pictures of Tank Davis between fights? He got the ability, the athleticism to shrink himself to 135 pounds at 30 years old. Which I told you, by the way, that he wasn't going to be able to keep doing that. I told you he was going to have to move up. And what did Tank Davis say out of his own mouth? That he's moving up. I know John Parham, he's 5'6", but Clifton wanted to make him even smaller than what he actually is to make it an excuse for him to keep fighting smaller guys. That's the deal. You see, We want our favorite fighters to fight the best big dogs. Tank Davis fans want him to fight the best little guys. What is going on? What is going on? Like, to me, that is comical that you challenging a guy multiple divisions below you. That shit is comical, bro. That's the type of faith that you got in Tank Davis. That you don't challenge Shakur. You don't say challenge Shakur, challenge Teofimo, challenge the... No, you want to challenge the little guy that was fighting like at 118 and moved up to... Come on, bro. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. That is just crazy work. Love more Hinduism. He could fight at 147 clean. Tank Davis is a weight bully. Tank Davis is a weight bully. I challenge you to find another fighter who moved up to 135 division at 25 years old, and at 30, they were still at 135. Find another fighter. Just one. Just find one. Tell me one fighter who moved up through divisions and stayed at 135 for 5 years before moving up again. Because I guarantee you, Tank, and I told you guys this before, Tank Davis was either going to retire or he was going to have to move up to 140 because he was not going to be able to keep making 135. I told you. So, John, you say 140 tops. I say he could see 147, but kind of, number one, it could be like a catch weight fight where they meet up at 144, or it could be a situation where there's a vacant title, they match him up against an average Joe so that they could say, look, he's a welterweight champion too. Something like that could happen. John Parham boost way too big, but now, yeah, you know, way too small. Same deal. Why ask Tank to fight the little guy, but not ask him to fight the big guy? Superman, salute, bam. That's all I'm saying. Why can we say Terrence Crawford, move up to division, fight Canelo Alvarez? Why we can't say, yo, Tank Davis, move up 2 divisions and fight Jerome Boots Ennis? Or move up 2 divisions, fight Brian Norman Jr.? So all these things that other fighters, other great fighters are doing, Tank Davis ain't doing, my people. Tank Davis is not, he ain't doing it. Clifton Dennis, I've never heard Tank call a weight bully kind of crazy. Well, again, what do you call a guy? Look at Shakur Stevenson, look at Devin Haney, look at Teofimo Lopez, look at all the young champions, the weight class that they were fighting at 25, and the weight class and how long they stood there as they moved up. Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, and Teofimo Lopez, look how many times they already moved up. And Tank Davis still clinging to the same 130 division. Just because you never heard nobody saying he a weight bully, he a popular fighter. People don't want to say the truth because he popular. He a weight bully, clinging on to the 130 division to fight smaller guys. And then if you don't want to say he's a weight bully, you don't see him, Lamar Roach is from 130 division, bro. You don't see him bringing Lamar Roach up from 130 to fight him. That's not a weight bully either. Bringing up Androide Garcia also from the 130 to fight him. That's not a weight bully either. Going from 135 down to 130 to fight Little Leo. That's not weight bully either. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Superman, Tank small, respectfully. No, he not. No, he not small. What Tank is short. He not small. What Tank is short. He a short dude. He not small. If you're saying that Tank is small, then why you not saying Canelo small at 168? If Tank is small, why Canelo not small? Explain that to me, my peoples. Take Tank and compare him to the people in his division, and take Canelo and compare him to the people in his division. What? So, boxing fan, you see how you're saying Canelo is small? Okay, so then why Canelo is small for this conversation, but for another conversation, he's too big for Crawford and he's huge? I don't understand. For one conversation, Canelo's small. For another conversation, he's huge. He's big. He's a monster. I don't get it. I don't get it. But Tank Davis is not small. He's short. He's short. Stop flip-flopping, my peoples. He's short. That's the thing. Okay, Clifton Dennis. If Canelo is small at 168, then why is he big for Crawford? You're saying that he says Crawford is moving up, but he's moving up to fight a small guy in that division. Then you shouldn't be saying that he's too big. Because Clifton, Tank is short. But again, we could go back and forth forever about this person said this and that person said that. But all I gotta say is, if Tank is so small, like you're saying, why the hell, after he fights, when he's not training, he gained 30 pounds? Explain that to me, brother. How can Tank gain 30, 40 pounds if he's that small? Because I'm going to tell you right now, me, myself, I'm small. And I could eat a full pizza every day and I can't gain 30, 40 pounds? So explain that to me. If he's small, like you're saying, where the hell he able to put on 30, 40 pounds from? How Tank Davis could be weighing 160, 170 a few weeks after a fight? If he's so small, like you're saying. So you're wrong, brother. He not small. He not small, brother. At all. Boxing fan, my peoples, it turned out that was the vegetable salad. He tried to sneak in a message. The crippled vegetable salad. Try to sneak one in. It didn't work. But again, my peoples, come on now. We want to say that in one argument, we cannot say, yo, whoa. In one argument, we cannot say Canelo's too big, and then in the next argument, nah, but he's small. He's a small dude. Come on, my peoples. We got to be consistent with it. We have to be consistent with it. So I've been telling you that Canelo's small, and everybody, nah, he's big. But now for a different conversation, he's small. For this conversation, nah, he's small. He's a small dude. Come on, my peoples. The vegetable salad trying, my peoples. What can I tell you, John Parham? He wants attention. Hey, look, man. I don't know. If I was crippled at home, like literally a rag doll, I don't know what I would be doing, man. I don't know what I would be doing. But we digress, my peoples. Explain to me how and why it's okay for Terence Crawford to move up multiple divisions to fight Canelo, but it's not okay for Tank Davis to also move up multiple divisions and fight Canelo. I don't understand it. I mean, Tank Davis move up multiple divisions, fight somebody at welterweight. Fight Brian Norman Jr. Why he can't do that? So it's like there's these expectations for other fighters, and they absolutely disappear for Tank Davis. For Tank, yo, I'm going to put it to you like this, my peoples. I've been following boxing right now, and this is no cap. I've been following boxing for over 30 years. Over 30 years, my peoples, I've been following boxing. And in that amount of fight, I've never seen a fan say that this fighter should fight somebody that's 2 divisions below him. Never seen that. I have never witnessed that, my peoples. Somebody say, yeah, this guy should fight that guy. A guy that's way smaller, way little, multiple divisions below. I never seen that. Ever. That's why I'm telling you, with Tank is like a special set of circumstances for Tank Davis. Where we never ask him to fight the best of his division. We never ask him to fight the big dogs above his division. But we ask him to fight the smaller guys from lower divisions. which that's what Lamar Roach was. Lamar Roach is a 130-pounder who came up cherry-picked gone wrong. Cherry-picked gone wrong. But, damn, man, are we ever going to say, yo, Tank, we'll fight Shakur, fight Devin, fight Teo? John Parham, Tank and Norman would be interesting. That's a good fight. You're going to see if Shakur chases Tank up, Tank will be ultra pissed. Listen, if Tank move up to 140, I think the next day Shakur going to announce that he's going to 140. You understand me? I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to put it to you right here. Look. I'm put it to you right here. On the receipt and everything. Because I want you guys to be clear, crystal clear about this. My peoples, if Tank Davis announces that he's moving up to the 140 division, yo, I don't think it's going to take a week before Shakur's like, yo, my peoples, I'm going to 142. You're going to have to now run from me over there. See you at 140. Trying to tell you. Evangelista Angel, nobody beats Tank. I mean, how would you know that? Tank don't want to fight nobody. Tank's scared to death. Tank don't even want to give Lamar Roach the ring. He's about to duck Lamar Roach. He couldn't even beat Lamar Roach. What are you talking about? You're talking about nobody could beat Tank, and Tank couldn't even beat Lamar Roach. Stop. Clifton Dennis. Me asking Inoue to fight Tank is the same you asking Bud to fight Canelo. But you got it, champ. Clifton Dennis. I'm asking Crawford to fight a much bigger fighter. I'm asking Crawford to be the underdog, to be great. You're asking Tank to fight a little guy, multiple divisions down, where he's going to have the size advantage, the strength advantage. That's the difference. I asked my fighter to fight the best, the biggest challenge. You ask your fighter to fight a little guy that you know he's going to beat. That's wicked. Wicked. You're over there challenging little guys. That's embarrassing, man. You should be embarrassing yourself. That means you don't got no faith in Tank Davis. That's you want Tank to fight the little guys? You're saying that asking Tank to fight a little guy is the same as asking Crawford to fight a big guy. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. Clifton Dennis, I wish Tank knocked Shakur ass out already. But that's the thing, Clifton. You may wish that, but Tank don't believe you. He don't believe he could beat Shakur, or he would already did it. You got more faith in Tank than Tank got faith in Tank. Couldn't even beat Lamar Roach, and you talking about knockout Shakur. Stop playing. Kano Crush. Sias is the veggie salad. He is not the real deal. When he's fighting someone who is elite or good, no tomato can. Damn, bro. Why you gotta... That's wrong. You gonna call salad the veggie salad, man? You gonna call Sanders Sias the veggie salad? You're wrong for that. John Parham. Clifton is asking, it's a challenge Tank. It's different. You imagine that? How this dude gonna say, damn, Clifton, man, you got a wrench. You got a wrench, man. And you talking about Tank Davis challenging Inoue? It's the same as Crawford challenging Canelo? What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? That's horrible. John C. Tank looking for a couple of big retirement checks, but won't fight retirement check names. I mean, the thing is that you can fight a retirement check name, or you can fight 4 or 5 names that'll add that money up. You're not gonna get it in one shot, but you get 4 or 5 in. 4 or 5 cherry picks could get you that type of money. On Lace in the building. Salute, my brother. The ill will, salute. Bam. So again, my peoples, we have to ask all fighters to fight the best. We have to ask all fighters to fight the big dog. And stop the whole energy about, well, but for this guy, I don't really want him to fight the best, Like there's these great fighters in his division, but I prefer he go 2 divisions down and fight a little guy. That's like 5'2", 5'3". Go fight that little guy. So you could be a lot bigger, a lot stronger, a lot everything. Because those are the fights that I really want, the ones that I'm sure you're going to win. Come on, man. Come on, my people. That doesn't make boxing fun. Let me tell you something that you got to understand. Look at Tank Davis, his career, the body of his career. A lot of highlight knockouts. A lot of knockouts where people went to sleep. But within those knockouts, how many names do you see that were world champion, accomplished fighters, or anything that you say, okay, that's a great win? Tank Davis has a lot of good wins, by the way. Beat a lot of good fighters. All the guys he's fighting are good fighters. But how many wins does he have that you could say? That's the thing. When they always use that logic with Terrence Crawford. How many legacy wins he got? He only got Errol Spence, but what Tank Davis got? What Tank Davis done? Who he beat? So when we look at the resume, at 30 years old, Tank Davis' resume is falling behind when you compare it to Teofimo, Shakur, and Devin. Cano Crush, Zayas versus Thurman, or Zayas versus Bakram, or by pick, Ortiz versus Zayas. My brother, I like all of those fights. I'm going to tell you right now, Xander Zayas is a special fighter. I'm in the bandwagon. I believe in him 100%. Let's see what they're going to do. He's young, man. He's young. Isn't he like, what, 21, 22 years old? And already a world champion? It's going to be tough. He's going to have some tough tests ahead of him. I'm telling you that right now. Telling you that right now. RJC Dominicano in the building, family. On Lace, John, these kids start school today. Whoa. Whoa. Clifton Dennis, Zayas too young. He's already a world champion. That's it. Once you become a world champion, the sanctioning body is not going to make somebody a mandatory. Like, oh, let's give him a nice mandatory because he's a champion. No, that's it. You're a world champion. You're a world champion. Now, what you can do as a younger champion is keep Xander Zayas, within the sanctioning body, defending titles versus highly ranked opponents. You don't have to go fight unification fights versus the other champions. You don't have to do that. He's young, 22 years old. You don't have to try to unify just yet. But I will tell you, my people, Xander Zayas is a special fighter. And I feel like he's going to accomplish big things. Corey B. Crawford's resume is way better than Tank. Oh, by a landslide. By a landslide. It's not even close. That's why I always laugh about it when people try to, question or discredit Crawford's resume, because most of the times it's Tank Davis fans. Most of the time it's Tank Davis fans. So it's like, okay, you saying all that about Crawford's resume, but what about Tank? Oh, no, we're not talking about Tank, though. It's not about Tank. Which brings me to another point that I wanted to make, guys. Why is it that I go into boxing groups and I see a lot of Tank Davis fans who they only post about who Crawford should fight, about who Shakur Stevenson should fight, about how Crawford's opponents ain't all that? That's all they posting about. So I got to a point where I don't even know who Tank Davis fans want Tank to fight. I know who y'all want Shakur, Crawford, and other fighters to fight, but who do you want Tank to fight, bro? Because y'all busy posting about everybody else and talking about everybody else. And then we're talking about our favorite fighter, and y'all talking about our favorite fighters. But y'all not talking about your guy. Clifton Dennis, Tank resume better than Shakur. You see, Clifton Dennis, that's the thing. What you're saying right there is your opinion. But Shakur Stevenson beat 2 reigning champions, undefeated Oscar Valdez and Jamel Herring. Beat by Jamel Herring by stoppage, by the way. The same Jamel Herring who beat Lamont Roach. The same Lamont Roach that put the beats on Tank Davis and got robbed. Shakur beat that Jamel Herring by stoppage. 2 reigning champions in his own division where he was fighting. Okay, you want to tell me, Clifton Dennis, what are the reigning champions that Tank Davis beat in his own division? You think he got the better resume, right? Tell me what are the reigning champions Tank beat in his own division. Because, you know, Lamar Roach, he's a champion at 130. He brought him up from the 130 division. You know. And Leo Santa Cruz, he went down to the 130 division. And Mario Barrios, he went up to the 140 division. Can you tell me who he beat? A reigning champion he beat in his own division where he was at? He was a champion. You a champion. I'm beating you. Okay, you remind me. Well, what are the champions? What are the champions that he beat that you, according to you, give him a better resume than Shakur? Clifton. Damn. Look, it's so embarrassing, Clifton, that you don't even want to say a name. We know the name. Say it. Go ahead. It's a great resume, right? We know the name. Say it. Look, you're embarrassed, Clifton. You're so embarrassed that you don't even want to say the name. You just say, oh, the first title. The first title. Say the name, Clifton. Clifton. So I can start naming you the list of fighters who whooped that ass. That stepping stone fighter. Go ahead. Yeah, Clifton, name that stepping stone fighter. That was a great win. It was Pedraza, Clifton. It was Pedraza. Come on, bro. It was Pedraza. And Pedraza got beat up. Go look at the resume. Bro, Clifton, I'm telling you, it was Pedraza. So let me help you out, Clifton. Let me put you on. Pedraza is the only reigning champion that Tank Davis has beat in his entire career that was a reigning champion in his division. Him and Pedraza was both at 130. Pedraza held the title. Tank took it from him. That's the only time he's done that in his whole career at 30 years old. When Tank Davis was at 135 with his Mickey Mouse belt, I'm going to remind you, son. While he was with his little Mickey Mouse belt at 135, he got to see Lomachenko as a world champion. He's seen Shakur Stevenson, who's a world champion right now. He's seen Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez as world champions. He never tried to unify with any of them. Instead, he went down in division to fight little Leo Santa Cruz. Then he went up in division to fight Mario Barrios. Then he brought down Androide Garcia from the 130 division to fight him at 135. He brought Lamar Roach from the 130 division to also fight him at 135. Are you going to tell me he got a better resume than Shakur, who hasn't pulled no funny shit in his entire career, who hasn't pulled nobody from another division to beat him up, who hasn't gone down a division to fight a little guy? Come on, bro. We know what the term weight bully means. I'm shocked that you saw Tank Davis move down to 130 and fight a Leo Santa Cruz that had recently moved up from 126. And you don't think that's some weight bully shit. I don't even know how better to explain it to you, brother. He has Barrios, Pitbull, Pedraza, Rowley. Okay, so Clifton, let me put you on. Number one, Barrios was a secondary champion when Tank beat him. Josh Taylor was the undisputed champion in 140 division. Do you remember that? So if you don't understand what I'm trying to explain to you, Barrios was actually a paper champion when Tank beat him. That's number one. Number two, Pitbull had never won a title when he fought Tank Davis. Pitbull had never won a title, not even fought in a main event. You didn't even know Pitbull before he fought Tank Davis. Look how hard you're trying. You didn't even know poor Pitbull, who recently got beat up by Rayo. Beat up by Rayo. But cool story. That's a great win. Rollies, guess what? Rollies had never won a title when he got in the ring with Tank Davis. Did you know that? Never won a title. So you mentioned, within the four guys that you mentioned, you went with a secondary title holder, a Pitbull Cruz that never held a title, Pedraza, which we mentioned, and a Rollies that never held a title. That's what makes a better resume than Shakur Stevenson. I don't even have to make an argument, man. You debunking yourself. You debunking yourself. R30, my G. Appreciate you and the boxing content. Salute, my brother. And I appreciate everybody tuning in Monday morning. Yo, welcome to Boxing for Breakfast, my peoples. This is where it's at right here. This is where it's at right here. If you've never been to Boxing for Breakfast, I promise you this is where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. You don't need to be ducking that like button the same way Tank Davis be ducking Shakur. Because y'all know he ducking, and he don't need to be ducking Shakur. Y'all don't need to be ducking that like button. That's all I'm saying. Keeping it 100 with y'all. Agent 17, morning, Jay Smith. Agent 17, salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in. Bam. We still going back and forth about Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. My people, that's going to be a great fight. That's going to be a great fight. Nobody's watching nobody. Canelo is not going to watch Crawford. Crawford is not going to watch Canelo. But I've been telling y'all, Crawford might actually make it look easy, my peoples. He might make it in the championship rounds. It's going to be a competitive fight. They're going to go back and forth. They're going to trade the nasty leather. They're going to trade the nasty leather. Gone later by. Tank had a good career. Oh, no. Listen. Tank has a good career. Don't get me twisted. Tank has a good career. Because if you notice, I'm not like the average haters, or I'm not like the haters, because I'm not a hater at all, who try to diminish opponents. I don't do that. I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth, because if you do your research, you find out that I never capped. Mario Barrios had a secondary title when he fought Tank Davis. That is a fact. I'm not hating on him. That is the truth. Pitbull Cruz had never won a title when he fought Tank Davis. That is a fact. That's not cap. But now if you ask me, are these fighters good? I'm going to tell you yes. Yes. These are good fighters. Are they the best in the division? No. Are they pound for pound? No. Are they considered, yo, this is the guy that's... No. They good fighters. Tank Davis beat a lot of good fighters. He never dared to step in there with any of the best. Come on. Let's be real. He never stepped in there. And what makes it look worse, here's what makes it look worse. And I want you guys to take it into consideration. Tank Davis is one of the few superstars in boxing who can fight whoever he wants. He can fight whoever he wants. Everybody don't have that luxury. Don't get it twisted, my peoples. Everybody don't have that luxury of being able to choose who you want to fight. It don't work that way. Tank Davis is one of the few that could say, yo, I want to fight you, and make it happen. My peoples, it's 40-something in the building strong. We're going to do a roll call. Let's see where the Box Center family is tuning in from. Y'all already know what it is. Jay Smith. I'm in Santiago, Dominican Republic. My peoples, let me know what city and what country are you tuning in from? What city and country the Box Center family is tuning in from? Clifton Dennis, they average at best Valdez and Harry. Imagine that. You calling world champions average, but then you talking about Tank Davis beat these guys. What are we doing here? What are we really doing here? Let's see where the Box Center family tuning in from. On Lace, Tampa, Florida. Agent 17, Inglewood, Florida. John Parham. On Lace, my 16-year-old got the Verdi dunk with pink polo. The Ill Will. Hit the like button. It's free, my peoples. That like button is free. Clifton Dennis. Bridgeport, Connecticut, USA. Corey B, Atlanta, Georgia, United States. Superman, Queens, New York, USA. Today, working. John Parham, home of the GOAT. Louisville, Kentucky. Whoa. That's Muhammad Ali territory right there. Edwin Calderon, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is in the building in full effect. Damn, my people, the USA, the Boxana family is all over the USA today. We in the building all over the place. John Parham, Corey, you better be Team Norman. Yeah, you gotta be repping Team Norman. Come on now. Come on now. Gojo Tio, salute. Bam. Appreciate you dropping in, Gojo. Yo, listen. It's enough of us right now. The ill will, you already know. NYC tuned in the building. Hold on, the ill will, you already know. NYC tuned in. Kano Crush, yo, Dallas, Texas. Go, Jay Smith. Bam, appreciate it, bro. My peoples, it's enough of us right now to make the receipt. Once you make your receipt, you can never take it back. In case you want to change your mind and accept that Canelo Alvarez is going to get whooped by Terrence Crawford, this is your time right now to change your mind, my peoples. This is your time right here. You're not going to get opportunities like this. So we're going to make this prediction. Be wise. You can change your mind and avoid the suffering that's going to come from trying to rock with Canelo Alvarez. So here's the magic question, my peoples. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Bud Crawford. Who you got winning this fight? Who you got? John Parham, you can still change your mind, brother. You're my guy. I don't want you to experience this type of pain. Agent 17 is the first one to chime in. Canelo in 9 rounds. Whoa, Agent 17 got a stoppage. Edwin Calderon, Canelo. John Parham, Canelo in 10. Whoa, my peoples. The first 3 votes are for Canelo Alvarez. Unlace Canelo Alvarez once again. What is going on, everybody? The Box Center family is saying that Canelo Alvarez is going to put the beats on Terrence Bud Crawford. Corey B got a draw. A draw from Corey B. Whoa. My peoples. So the Box Center family is rocking with Canelo Alvarez to put the Dre, the Swiss, and the Apple beats on Terrence Bud Crawford. Gojo Tio chimes in. Crawford by decision. Gojo Tio says Crawford is going to outbox Canelo. John Parham, draw is definitely possible. I agree. Christopher Levin, good morning, bro, man. Good morning, Christopher. Clifton Dennis, Canelo robbery, majority decision. Well, Clifton Dennis, you've been rooting against Crawford your whole life. It makes sense that you're still doing it now. Superman, but regardless, Crawford is going to win no matter what. He's going to find a way. Clifton Dennis, I might change, though. You got enough time to change your mind, my peoples. I've been trying to tell you, look, if you root for Canelo until the last moment, it's going to be a lot more painful to watch him get beat up. You remember that feeling when you was watching Errol get pummeled? It wasn't a good feeling. You're going to experience that again. But if you start coming to terms with the fact that Terrence Crawford is going to whoop that ass, it's not going to be as painful to watch it, bro. Josh Oliver, Owen Borough, Kentucky's in the building. Christopher Ledane, I got Canelo. Clifton Dennis, I'm a huge Buff fan. No, you're not. That's a lie. Every in the classic Crawford hater always says, I'm a huge fan, but you always root against him. You always use the same logic as the haters. You're just the in the closet hater. Corey B, Vegas needs a rematch. Lil Pape, Danny Garcia returns. Whoa, Danny Garcia. Salute to Danny Garcia, man. I got a lot of respect for him. He accomplished a lot as a fighter. Now he's a promoter doing his thing too. Salute to DSG. Clifton Dennis. But I pick with my head, not heart. Josh Oliver. It's the place to be. Salute, my brother. Bam. Superman. John, ha ha ha. Oh, yes, it's sure. Just like responding while driving. I'm trying to tell you, my people. Look. This fight, and some of you was already here in this channel when they first agreed that this fight was going to happen. And I told you guys from the beginning, this is going to be one of the biggest fights in boxing, period, in the history of the sport of boxing. I understood what was going on from the beginning. And people was laughing at me. Oh, you exaggerating. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't even make no sense. Oh, it doesn't make no sense, right? Oh, it's not a big deal. Now people are understanding the way that this fight is shaping up. They understand it. That it's going to be something special, my peoples. Going to be something special. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is going to be an epic showdown. Epic, epic showdown. By the way, my peoples, for those of you who tuned in late and didn't see the beginning of the show, you missed out on my Kung Fu skills. So I invite you to check it out. Once we're done with this live, go to the beginning and check out the intro. I was out there showing off my Kung Fu skills. Agent 17, if Steve Weissman judging, you know he glazing Canelo per usual. Look, I think this is the type of fight that is going to be won decisively. The judges are not going to be able to take it away from the winner. I do see it's going to be competitive, but then Crawford is going to take over. Unless Superman on my weight. That's so dope. You homeschool them or pay someone. Lil Pape, Zaya's youngest champion at 22, yeah? Zayas took that title to Puerto Rico representing. Facts. By the way, somebody said about homeschooling, I wish I could do that with my son. My son is only 3 years old, but I wish I could do it for a little bit, but it's a tough process. Superman. Oh, you back on Kung Fu time? Oh, bro, wait till you see the beginning of this video, how I showed up. Because the first time around, I did the praying mantis. This time around, I came with the tiger, bro. Came with the tiger. Wait till you see the drunken master, but still working on that one. RJ, who the top? Teofimo? I think Teo stops Polanco. Look, man, Teofimo Lopez, I got mad respect for him. I hope that he could make a big fight, that he could fight maybe Teofimo. I mean, that he could fight Shakur Stevenson next. We know that he was trying to make it happen with Boots. Boots pulled out on him. Then he was trying to make it with Devin. He ended up pulling out on Devin. So it's like, damn, you've been close to making these big fights and they didn't happen. Hopefully, he could get it with Shakur or he could get it, you know, with another name. Bring back Big Zhang. Yeah, Big Bang Zhang can fight. I enjoy watching him. RJ, Polanco at 47 is plenty big fights and money for him. Are you talking about Rohan Polanco? John Parham. Had me for a second with that. Christopher Leden, does it look like Crawford is leaning forward too much in his mid-work or just really relaxed? Yes, sir, and a lot of recovery there. Honestly, I think it's hard to really judge Crawford from the videos that you see, because you have to understand that fighters, they're very, especially at that level, they're very strategic with the stuff that they put out, with the stuff that they're going to let us see. So he's not going to put anything out, or at least I believe so. He's not going to put anything out that's going to give us a clue as to how he's going to fight inside the ring. And neither will... If you notice, Canelo's the type of fighter that while he's in training camp, you rarely see anything from him. You might see him hitting some left hooks on the heavy bag or something, but you don't really see much. And it's the same with Crawford. They don't show you much. So, I don't think there's a lot we can really judge from it. John Parham, agent, it will go about 8 rounds. RJ, Canelo training for his life. That's why I got Canelo winning. I mean, you're talking about training for his life, bro, but Crawford is doing the same. You got to understand, this is the classic David and Goliath showdown where everybody thinks this guy's too small. Everybody thinks this guy's going to get beat up. Crawford has been there before. where everybody's rooting against him. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. A lot of people just rooting against him. He's been there. This, he's in familiar territory right now. Let's see how people are gonna react. That's what I'm interested in seeing. How are people going to react? Because I know we all know what happened when Terrence Crawford beat Errol Spence. We know how that played out. How did it play out? People went from saying Terrence Crawford is going to get beat up because he's too small for Errol Spence. Errol Spence is absolutely going to destroy him. And then look what happened. Look how that worked out for Errol. How did it work out for Errol? You got to understand it. My people, say what's up to the vegetable salad, Noel Beato, the sex predator. This is the NYC teacher who abused his students. Here he is right here, my peoples. He's getting the show live. He gets to watch us and listen to us at the same time. From his crippled state, he's not able to move at all, barely shitting on himself. The nurse is cleaning him. When you're a rag doll, that's all you can do, my peoples, is watch me. Watch how 30+ people are tuning into Box Center, while your whack ass, no talent having YouTube channel has nobody to watch you. How does it feel, crippled predator? How? Tell the people, crippled predator. You're on the microphone right now. Talk to them. The crippled predator has hung up. Corey B, the thing I like most about Crawford is he always looked ready to fight. Bro, I've been saying that about Terrence Crawford, and I was saying that before he was going to fight Errol Spence. In fact, I pointed out that was one of the reasons why he was going to put the beats on Errol Spence. That's one of the reasons. Think about the all-time greats. Think about, and I'm talking about even different sports. For example, think about Michael Jordan. Think about Kobe Bryant. But go to another sport. Think about Wayne Gretzky, if you know anything about hockey. Or think about Alexander Ovechkin. Or let's move to another sport. Go to baseball. And think about the best baseball players of all time. And what you're going to find is that these athletes, they train different. They prepare different. Tom Brady, RJ, that's perfect. Tom Brady in football. These great athletes, when they're in the off season, because you got to understand, these sports, the off season is mad long for them. And guess what? While some athletes go on a 3-month vacation and 3 months traveling and partying and having a good time, these athletes, and you could put LeBron James in there too, they will finish the season and have a good time for like 5-6 days and be back in the gym already. So while everybody partying and everybody enjoying the championship and all that stuff, these dudes is already in the gym. Floyd Mayweather known for getting up at 3 in the morning and going to the gym. At 3 in the morning, yo, let's go to the gym. So the great athletes, they've known for being in great shape when they're not competing. When they're not competing. And that's what you see from Terrence Crawford right there. You get to see that when he's in between fights, he still be training. Still be in the gym. Come on now. Come on, my peoples. Terrence Crawford, my peoples. You see that he's constantly getting ready to fight. You imagine that? That's the same approach that you saw from Michael Jordan, from Kobe Bryant, from Floyd Mayweather, and you seen it from Terrence Crawford. So when he was gonna fight Errol Spence, that I'm seeing Errol Spence partying, having a good time, smoking weed, getting high, hanging out with the girls, hanging out with Yella Beezy. I like, nah, you're not doing it, fam. You're not doing it. You with the type of lifestyle that I saw him living and how Crawford was moving. How like Crawford's gonna put the beats on him. Crawford is gonna pummel him. Crawford is gonna stop him. And I told people that he was gonna stop him between the 8th and the 9th. And this is what I like about posting these predictions. That anytime somebody try to question it, like, nah, you didn't know that was gonna happen, I could just go back and show them. And be like, look, that's exactly what I did. I said what was gonna happen. Adamas, is Errol done? I don't know, man, because I've seen clips of him looking like he was in the gym. Frank Martin said that that he's not focused in boxing, but that he's in shape. So I don't know if he's done. Honestly, if he has enough money, I think he should stay retired. If Errol Spence got money like that, he should stay retired. Why? Because he took a nasty, nasty beating from Terrence Crawford. And a beating like that can change your life forever. You could be one punch away from being punch drunk. Not to mention what we've seen can happen in boxing that happened recently to 2 boxers. John Parham, I smoke weed before every high school football game. But that's different because remember, when you're playing football, you're either on the offense or on the defense. So you get to be explosive for 2 minutes and then get to sit it out for I don't know how long. So it's a different ball game. But when you're fighting nonstop, that shit will catch up to you. High and low sports Zentrum. Boxing will teach a boxer. That's a fact. That is a fact. Yoda, only fight for Errol is Jake Paul. Nah, Errol Spence could fight. I think he should fight a tune-up. I think Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman is a good fight. Agent 17. My homie smoked weed before nationals, and he won. It could happen. I'm not saying that if you smoke weed, you're going to fail or you're going to lose. But what I'm saying is that weed is without a doubt going to put you at a disadvantage. Because weed is not going to make you faster. Even if you feel like, oh my God, I feel like I'm so much nicer when I'm on weed. That's a lie. You're not. Weed is not going to make you faster. It's not going to make you sharper. And it's not going to give you a better reaction time. In fact, it's going to take away some of that reaction time. So you're going to get hit more than you should. Superman, yes, that's sad. With those guys over the weekend. Yeah, man, 2 fighters. And they was actually on the same card. 2 fighters, 2 boxers died on the same card. Notice that nobody's talking about that goofy-ass stuff about smaller rings and no running and rock'em sock'em rope. People die in boxing. That's what I've been trying to tell you. That's goofy as hell to want to force people to engage more. Like 2 animals, basically. John Parent, why boxing strict on weed anyway? It's not beneficial. To my understanding, it comes across like, I'm not even going to say it. I'll touch on that subject at a different time. But imagine, in some states, marijuana has already been legalized. And it's not a performance-enhancing drug. Like, they actually suspended Clarissa Shields over... Well, she wasn't even smoking weed. I guess she was around weed and there was some type of contact. But it's crazy. It's crazy. Clifton Dennis, I think you can smoke depending on the state. Or maybe that's the case. But that's still crazy. It's not a performance-enhancing drug. So it should not be on the ban list. Agent 17, because boxing is more international and other countries weed isn't legal. Yeah, but that doesn't really matter because it's not the argument that I'm making. It's not about whether it's legal or not. It's about whether or not it's a PED. Weed is not going to give a fighter a physical advantage. On Lace, Keyshawn popped dirty. You see what I'm saying? When you hit Keyshawn pop dirty, you're going to think it's for Roy's. He popped dirty? Ah, for weed? Damn, what the fuck? Like, come on now. How you pop dirty for weed? That's crazy. When you hear the phrase, yo, such and such pop dirty, you think, oh, man, damn, this dude cheating. He got to be suspended for a long time. Then it turned out he was just smoking a blunt. Clifton Dennis, he lost the win for weed. Listen, man, I'm not with it. I don't think that weed or anything that's not going to give you a physical advantage should be on the banned substance. I'm not condoning anybody using anything. All I'm saying is, if I'm a fighter and I test positive for marijuana, that should not affect my fight. I should not be pulled out. I should not be penalized, sanctioned in any way, shape, or form. Because that weed in my system is not going to give me an advantage. If anything, it's going to make it harder for me to win. If anything. Agent 17, Keyshawn hype train ended for me after what happened in his last fight that didn't end up happening. Damn, bro. If you're saying that you gave up on Keyshawn because he didn't make weight and the fight didn't happen, you already didn't like Keyshawn, bro. You was already waiting for an excuse to not like him. They were like, anything he does, that's it. I'm done with him. The guy's had a great career so far. He's young. He's been winning, won the title young. And that's it. He didn't make weight. You done with him? Bro, you've been waiting for a reason to not mess with him. You don't like him. Yoda. Sha'Carri Richardson ran her fastest time in Olympics trials. Pop dirty for weed, was suspended. Yeah, that was just disrespectful to her. No, I gave up after the backstage brawl. Yeah, you trust me, Agent 17. You didn't really give up. You just needed something to not like him. Because you don't know if the backstage brawl was even his fault. Why would you give up on him? You didn't give up on Teofimo and his pops. And by the way, what I've heard is that backstage brawl happened because Teofimo's pops was yelling the N-word to Keyshawn and his group. You effing you effing you effing So they were like, oh yeah, word, pop, 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 pop. Gave him a little piece of what he needed. So why you don't like him? And you didn't give up on Teofimo and his pops who was yelling racist stuff. Like I told you, you already didn't like Keyshawn and you needed an excuse to, there you go, you did this, now I don't like you. Raw Dog, what do you think was in Iron Pryor's black bottle that made him come into the last round like it was the first? We'll never know, bro. We will never know. That's one of the biggest mysteries that we'll never know. I mean, look, it's easy to come up with conspiracy. It doesn't necessarily have to have been nothing crazy. Because you know that in the corner, you can only give the fighter water, right? We don't even know. Yo, it could have been something as simple as Pepsi. It could have been a Pepsi Cola. We just don't know what it was, though. It could have been something laced with something that made him a different man, because he definitely was a whole different boxer. Clifton Dennis, he's talking about Keyshawn going into the locker of guy who beat his brother. Hold up. Black Jericho, salute Jay Smith, old facts. Great live, Black Jericho. Bam! Appreciate you dropping in, my brother. You know what we do. This is Boxing for Breakfast, your favorite boxer's favorite boxing show, where you get a healthy dosage of sweet science. On Lace, I think you mixing it up. Also, we talking about a different brawl out here. JJ's in the house. Good morning, Jay Smith. I'm here. Let's go. Ooh, JJ's in the house. Is in the building, my peoples. Bam. Yoda, is caffeine banned substance in boxing? No, caffeine is not a banned substance, but in a fight, you can only drink water. So in between rounds, you cannot have, a glass of coffee. Yoda, how did these fighters lose their life? Brain damage. I mean, look, honestly, I'm saying brain damage. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying because that's what usually happens. But both guys were in the same card, and basically both guys took a lot of shots to the head from the venue. They were taken to the hospital, and they both died from their injuries. Carlos Perez, buenos dias, Jay Smith. Buen día, hermanito mío. Agent 17. What if drank espresso before the fight? That's not a problem. You can drink an espresso before the fight because that's not an illegal drink. It's just during the fight, you can't drink anything. And the thing is, you're like, what if I drink an espresso before the fight? Well, you might just have to deal with some nasty diarrhea in the third round. So I don't know if that's gonna be a good idea. John Parham, Jay Smith, Keyshawn admitted he couldn't expect the loss and couldn't control his temper, and it led to the action from hearing the celebration. Yeah, I seen it. I seen him talking about it. And he acknowledged that they messed up. Christopher Leden, always a pleasure, Jay Smith. I got concrete to pour, box center, breakfast in the morning, great debates. Christopher Leden, I appreciate you, brother. Agent 17, that's true. My stomach gonna be bubbling by the second round. I'm telling you, man. A shot of espresso right before the fight. Don't take a nasty shot to the gut. Might be shit all over the ring. Black Jericho, coffee dehydrates you. There's that as well. Clifton Dennis, I like people who aren't afraid to share their honest opinions. That's what it's about. Hopefully, that's what this could be about right here. We have a talk, we share honest opinions, go back and forth, debate, trash talk. That's part of it too. John Parham, appreciate the likes. My peoples, we got over 30 likes today. Monday morning, y'all must be in a good mood. Y'all hitting the like button. We not ducking that like button the same way that we been ducking Shakur. Well, we ain't been ducking Shakur. Tank been ducking him. But goddamn. Tank Davis and his fans ducking Shakur. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. My peoples. I'm about to give you guys some words of wisdom from Jay Stradamus, a.k.a. Jay Smith. On this beautiful Monday morning, I just want to tell you, never forget that life is a roller coaster, my peoples. Life goes up, life goes down. And what I mean by that is that today you could be flat broke, and in a couple of months, you could be balling out of control. Or it could be the other way around. You could have money that you don't even know what to do with it today. And in a few years, you're broke. Life goes up, life goes down. Don't ever allow whatever situation you're in to dictate your actions. Stay focused. Look forward. Life is only one, my peoples. Make sure you enjoy it. When you get to be a little old man somewhere, if you make it to an old man, be able to sit back and say, damn, I did this and I loved it. I did this and I loved it. I enjoyed doing this. Don't be the person who's going to sit there and say, damn, man, I wanted to do this and I never did it. I wanted to do that. I never gave it a shot. Damn, I wish I would have tried this. Don't be that person. Because I'm going to remind y'all, there's been people who found success at 50 years old, at 60 years old, at 70, even at 80 years old, there's people who came up with a company and it was successful. There is no age limit on success. Never forget that, my peoples. And before I get out of here, super chat vibes from my brother MAW. Yo, MAW, I always appreciate you. You've been rocking with me for some time. I think you've been around since I had like 400, 500 subscribers. And you've been rocking with me. Like I always tell people, that paper's not going to make you poorer. It's not going to make me richer. But it shows that you appreciate what I'm doing out here. MAW, I really appreciate you. What you got to say for me? Hello, Jay and chat. I saw somewhere Aaron Cornerman admit it was some kind of thing what asthmatics take open their lungs better for oxygen. Smash that like button. You see, my brother? I was not aware of this. We got the Box Center exclusive piece of information. So it was like some type of asthma medication to open up his lungs, which that makes perfect sense. Because I'm going to remind y'all, this dude came out for that last round like it was round number 1. How you been for the last few rounds? Tired, worn out. And then you just rejuvenated yourself after that mysterious drink. So whatever it was, if it was some asthma medication that opened up his lungs, that actually makes sense. That actually makes sense. So my peoples, listen, I'm about to get the hell out of here. But before I do, I want to give a shout out to everybody who always showed me love. You guys are the reason why Box Center is going to be, Boxing for Breakfast is going to be the #1 boxing show. I promise you. It's because of you guys. If it wasn't because of you, this show would not be what it is. So I appreciate every single one of you. MAW, John Parham, JJ Zendejas, Clifton Dennis, Green Ranger, Black Jericho, and everybody else who tuned in, man. I really appreciate y'all. I got to get the hell out of here. I got to take my son to school. I got to have breakfast. I got to go to work. I got stuff to do, my peoples. I hope you enjoy the show. Tomorrow, we're going to do it again, 6 in the morning. By the way, if you tuned in late, go back to the beginning of this video so you can see my intro. You guys get to see. You guys get to see the nasty kung fu. I already gave y'all the crane. Today, I gave y'all the tiger. Check it out, my peoples. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm about to get the hell out of here. Hit the like button before you get out of here, too. I appreciate everybody, man. Y'all know what it is. Chat. For real. Bam. I'm out of here, yo. One love.